1,030 naira to 965 naira per litre. Other retailers such as AA Rano and AYM Shafa dropped their pump price from 1,070 to 1,020 naira per litre.
Well, it looks like it's Dangote that is actually forcing down the prices now, and one would have thought that it should be the other way around. That it should be the federal government run refinery.
Yes, that should
be the one forcing down prices, and that maybe in due course. Well, I think Nigerians would be the better for it, and in due course, maybe when more refineries roar back to life.
But I believe they should work together. You know, I think that is how it was supposed to be. Dangote and the the Nigerian refinery.
But then there are still doubts about the true capacity of the Port Harcourt refinery now, and all that is shrouded in mystery. We've had truths and half-truths, and we don't know exactly is being prudent with the facts regarding the true situation of the Dangote, of the NNPC, Port Harcourt refinery, pardon me. But then, all this, I said, not that Nigerians stand to be the major beneficiaries, but then we have not seen the corresponding drop in the price of goods and services, in the cost of transportation. We have not seen a corresponding drop. And neither, especially food inflation, the cost of food, severely blamed on transportation from the food-producing communities to the urban markets now, and we have not seen the corresponding drop that will be in tandem with the drop in petrol price. So I don't know who is going to work on that. I don't know, and I don't know why. There might be a reason why we are yet to experience that drop that we expect, and an improvement in the standard, at least if just a slight improvement, but nothing at all, Bimbo. Yes. The fuel price has dropped.
But IPMAN chief, public relations officer told, reporters that that is Chief Chinedu Ukadike said the competition between the local refineries and the smooth flow of the product have resulted in a reduction in prices, and he said it is a good development for independent marketers and for consumers too. Now, because of increased demand, price normally goes up during this period, but right now the opposite is the case, and availability has been taken care of, and that they are now seeing price war among the gladiators, NNPC and Dangote. And he said by next year, like you said, when the Wali and Kaduna refineries are expected to come on stream, things will even be more interesting.
So coming on stream, and that would also be the void. That would be the void of politics. Despite 11 trillion naira contribution to GDP, high building materials cost, heightened housing shortage in 2024. And the cost of building materials is very astronomical. Owning your own house in Nigeria today, as an ordinary Nigerian now, almost like forcing a camel to the eye of a needle.
Because I know that as building materials, cost of building materials soar higher, some people are still building houses, but like you said, to the ordinary Nigerian.
Sometimes when I see some of these super houses being built by Nigerians, especially in the super rich estates around us, and I ask myself that, are these also Nigerians like me? Are we also in this? Are we in the same country? Some places where land will be sold for nothing less than the cheapest 100 million naira. And anytime maybe the government of that particular state opens up a particular place to be converted to an estate, and then the land is offered for sale. 50 million naira, 100 million naira, 200 million naira. Within a month, the land is sold up.
Yes.
And you begin to ask yourself that, okay, where
is the money coming from?
Where did they get this kind of money? So, little wonder that the government, maybe not the Tinubu administration, they have repeatedly acknowledged that there is hunger and poverty in the land. The previous government and the one before it no wonder they perpetually insisted that things are not as bad as Nigerians are painting it, or as their detractors and political critics are painting it. I mean, when you see those kind of scenarios that I just mentioned, and then, so how would they believe? So they think every Nigerian and an average Nigerian can afford to buy that kind of land and build those kind of houses. So that is the parameter which they measure, and then the rest of us are very significant as far as they are concerned. We are the minority as far as they are concerned. And on, Bimbo, ASU again, and not yet to who in the nation's ivory towers. Why would the foundation-wide strike till January, says ASU, Academic Staff Union of Nigerian universities? And, okay, I'm trying to get that story now. Okay, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has explained why it had not declared a nationwide strike yet after several months of threat to do so. President of the union, Professor Oluyole, confirmed to correspondents in an exclusive interview at the weekend that the union deliberately delayed the proposed industrial action for a purpose. According to him, the purpose was to give the federal government the benefit of doubt and enough time to address the union's concerns. But up till now, several months after, the government has not done anything concrete as regards all our issues. We are still on the same old narrative, and as a union, it is time for us to take action on our proposed strike, and that will be early January if government still refuses to do the needful by then, he stated. Well, we shouldn't start the new year with this
strikes, yes.
Another shutdown of the ivory towers, and that is looming.
Yes, and I don't know. There should be, I think there should be, one channel, that should be, utilized, to get to the president or the, right people in the presidency, so that there can be proper negotiations, proper agreements on these issues that has been ongoing for a long time. And I know it has to do with that 2009 agreement. I don't know.
There have been several,
and it is affecting our children in the universities. It is.
Well, there have been several channels, and they've been able to reach the president severally. The bone of contention now is implementation and fulfillment of the promises made, of the pledge and promises made by the federal government regarding the issues at stake. Another strike looms. Once again this morning, I want to, for the opting time, I want to hold President Bola Tinubu to his promise that never again, his campaign promise that never again will you have to spend 7 years, 8 years for a 4-year course. And said never again, at least under his watch, he said never again would universities be shut down perpetually. He must at all times remember that promise, and it's time to actually act on the demands of ASU. And I dismiss, as I always do, that narrative that the federal government cannot afford what ASU is asking for, at least especially by way of revitalization of the universities. If we can spend so much to make political office holders very comfortable,
yes,
for doing almost nothing, and then you cannot continue to say, as a former Labour minister said, that ASU is being unreasonable when they ask for these things.
Yes, now, this is affecting our children, like I said. I met one lady, one of the friends of one of the children of one of my friends. I met her with another friend. They went to the same school, our mother school. I won't mention the name. They were in the same class. They, graduated together. Now, that one went to one private university. The other one went to public university.
Okay.
That one is in 400 level now. The other one 200 level because of these strikes.
Perpetual strike, interruptions.
Yes. Fine. I know that the standard should be there. But it will give the one that is in 200 level, one kind of, trauma. That, look, see, my mate, we left school together. She's in 400 level. I'm still in 200 level. That's what I'm saying, that something should be done. It is not good for the, mental, mental education of our children.
Even the standard that you are talking about, standards will drop when schools are shut perpetually. I mean, talking about the public universities now. Yes, it is believed, and it's why, maybe a matter of fact that standards are expected to be higher in the public universities, especially Nigeria's own Ivy League universities. But when you perpetually shut down those institutions, well, those standards are bound to drop as well. Pardon me. Troops arrest Bello Turji's female ammunition courier in Zamfara. But where is Bello Turji himself? That's that notorious terrorist that has been on the run for a very long while now, and the army keeps on telling us that they are going to have him arrested, that they are after him on his trail,
and that they are on top of the situation.
So, but then they've arrested his female ammunition courier. I guess it should have many ammunition couriers.
It is not only that lady who be his ammunition courier.
So they've only just caught up with them, one of them. And troops of Sector 2, Joint Task Force Northwest, Operation Fasun Yama, have apprehended the 25-year-old suspect. 25? So an ammunition courier. 25-year-old suspected female ammunition courier, Shamsia, was suddenly withheld. This was contained in a statement issued in Gusau on Sunday by the coordinator of Joint Media Coordination Center of the operation, Lieutenant Colonel Abubakar Abdullahi. According to the statement, she was arrested on December 28th alongside her accomplice, a motorcyclist, Ahmed, suddenly withheld in the Badalawa area of Shinkafi, local government area of the state, and she was found in possession of 764 rounds of 7.62 millimeter special ammunition and 6 magazines meant to be delivered to terrorist kingpin Bello Turji's camp. And the arrest followed intelligence reports. You know what I suspect, Bimbo? Well, they say she's an ammunition, female ammunition courier, but then my personal thoughts here now that she might not even be a courier after all. Maybe an unwilling messenger and someone who might not even know the content of what she was carrying.
Yes.
But then maybe the army, maybe they've done their investigations and found out that she might have been a regular courier, or maybe a regular courier without being a part of the inner circle. So if that is the case, there are doubts as to whether she will be able to lead them to Bello Turji himself. Same for her accomplice. They could just be smoke screens and just be, and they chose them for that kind of for this kind of job because they ordinarily wouldn't draw attention. A 25-year-old female and a motorcyclist was probably of around the same age group, so they probably would not draw much attention while they're making their deadly deliveries to the terror kingpin.
Yes. Of course, one day, they will get to his abode and where he's just keeping himself.
I believe they know where he is being.
Well, it is possible. It is possible.
For reasons best known to them.
Yes. Now, this one, you remember the Anglican bishop that was kidnapped?
Along with his family.
Yes. I heard that he has regained his freedom.
People like that will not stay long with the kidnappers then, or trust them.
Why? Why are you saying that?
It has happened before.
Money will flow in straight.
You expect the congregations to be watching.
Yes, the abducted Anglican Bishop, Reverend Canon Oluyole, his wife and children kidnapped along Iburokwa Road in Akoko North East Council area of Ondo State have regained their freedom, and sources said they were released after payment of unspecified millions of naira in ransom on Saturday, raised by the family members, the church, and different associations the couple belongs to in the society.
Of
No,
course.
yes, they will. Now, the police will not say anything now. Although we know the police, maybe they have been, doing some things, making some efforts, but I don't know why their own efforts are not always, coming out, results. You don't see results of their efforts.
Well, kidnapping in recent times, regarding as to whether the police will see anything or not. Well, I think Nigerians who have been victims, or whose family members have been victims, have learned to jump the gun before the police. Usually, it's the police that will now come out and say, "Oh, they've been rescued. We've rescued them," and the story always ends with, "It is not certain whether ransom was paid." So the fact that ransom was paid is something we often hear from the grapevine. But now, maybe for some reason, Nigerians quickly. Those who are about to pass with that huge amount of money quickly come out and say, those our relatives, our loved ones have regained their freedom, and we paid ransom indeed. Ransom was paid. So maybe, again, as to what you said regarding the capability of the police to act decisively in some of these cases, people, there's that trust deficit between the citizens and the police, and between the government and the police. So many families are not ready to wait for what the police are going to do. Yes, they report to the police swing into action, we are investigating, but then, like I said, there's that trust deficit. Either the police have been compromised, either that the police is not acting fast enough, and they do not want to put the lives of their loved ones in jeopardy. So they resort to that self-help, and the self-help is paying the ransom demanded. But of course, that's when the ransom can't be afforded. In the case of this bishop, like I said, you expect someone like that to stay long in the kidnappers' den. But if it were to be innocent school children now, and they'll spend months, weeks, several months, even years in the kidnappers' den. That's when they are not killed. That's the sad reality.
Now, this one says, I said something one time about drugs, heroin, cocaine, and all those other drugs, that all these things happen. All those that, do the drug business, they know that they arrest, and they prosecute. But at the same time, they still go ahead to perpetrate the crime. Now, see this one now, a Paris-bound businessman, arrested for ingesting 74 wraps of heroin and cocaine inside his body.
Well, you were wondering why people still commit these crimes, despite the fact that they often get caught, and then the consequences could be severe. Well, I'm sure you're also wondering why people decide to take drugs to those countries where death penalty awaits them when they are caught. Well, the answer is simple, Bimbo. It's not poverty. It's not for the sake of lack. It's because, many of these elements, they believe the reward is worth taking the risk. But the perks of undergoing that risk is actually worth it. So the end justifies the means. That's the thought that is often on their mind. It's worth it. For them, it's worth it if you are going to, if you are offered them maybe several millions of dollars, for instance, for taking cocaine to a country where you will be beheaded if you are caught. So, but then the lure of that kind of money is too much, so they say, okay, let's take the risk. And some of them will have this Yoruba saying, "Ekolomo kuneku, a man only dies once."
And now there was a drama that even ensued, at the airport where he was caught, and the NDLEA spokesman Femi Babafemi, said Olizu, that's the name of the man, Olizu Otto, was arrested at the boarding gate of the Abuja airport on Sunday, 22nd December 2024, during the outward clearance of passengers on Air France. When he was pulled aside for body scan, he turned down the request, claiming his medical condition won't allow him. He was thereafter taken into custody for excretion observation, during which he excreted the total of 74 wraps of the Class A drugs over a period of 7 days. And in the statement, Rizu claimed he owns a shop at Balogun Market, Lagos Island, where he sells school and traveling bags, adding that he was promised 3,000 euros upon successful delivery of the consignment in Paris, like you said.
So someone must have introduced him to that. Quite unfortunate. And then the excretion now, there must have been a timeline when he was supposed to, when those things are supposed to come out of his body. So there was no choice. And he must have known the game was up when he was taken into custody. And then he should have gradually continued with his trade. And now he's in a lot of trouble.
In fact, big trouble.
It also says there, MDLE intercepts 2 boats loaded with illicit drug consignments at Lagos Beach. But on politics, Lagos will hold elections in 20 local government areas, 37 LCDs, says APC chairman. And also have Wike tackles Odili over private estate comments. When I saw the comment by former Rivers State Governor Mr. Peter Odili, I was thinking in my mind that I wish Mr. Wike would surprise me by not responding. But of course, he responds to virtually everything. And I guess Mr. Odili was trying to draw him out, Mr. Peter Odili, and he acted true to type. And he also the accusation from the former governor, Mr. Peter Odili, was that Mr. Wike, also a former governor, now FCT minister, was trying to take over Rivers State, convert Rivers State to his private estate, and that his successor was also his Idato political godson, tried to resist that, and that was the cause of the crisis between them. But then Mr. Wike has a robust response for former governor Odili here, and I'd like to take some of that. All right, says Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Mr. Nyesom Wike, has replied a former governor of Rivers State, Dr. Peter Odili, over his claim that he saved the political career of the minister in the past. As Senior Special Assistant to the FCT Minister on Public Communications and New Media, Larry Olayinka, said Wike spoke on Sunday at a special Thanksgiving service organized by the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Honorable Martin Chike Amorili, at the Church of the Holy Spirit Anglican Communion, Eliozu Parish of the Diocese of Ivo in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Now, Wike said Odili made sure when he was not far. Wike said Odili made sure that he was not far from him when he, that is Wike, was the governor of the state, eulogizing him always. Now, Odili spoke at a Christmas ballad organized by him in honor of Governor Fubara and his family. I said the governor summoned an unusual fortitude to confront the quest of Wike to capture Rivers State through ferocious but unnecessary political war. And he was quoted to have said that Wike was trying to turn Rivers into his personal estate. In his reply, Wike said it was unfortunate that Odili, who was supposed to be seen as an elder statesman, could make such utterances. I didn't want to say anything, but somebody called me last night and told me what someone said in the social media. I said, until I read it myself, this morning I read in the newspapers what our former governor, Sir Peter Odili, said, or what the minister said. And he said Odili has forgotten all that he said in the past. So now, this is exactly what happens with politicians when you continue to play the turncoat game. In the case of former governor Odili, who had always, like Mr. Wike said, eulogized him, praised him to high heavens. Now, when it is convenient, he's on the other side, and even organizing the ballad. I wonder the necessity of that ballad that he was said to have organized for the incumbent governor, seeming like Fubara. So all these never in the interest of the people. Even between the incumbent sitting governor and the predecessor Nyesom Wike, also none of them seems to be acting in the interest of the people. It's always about self-interest. And then the very strange part of it, Bimbo, the very interesting part of it is that tomorrow they could again be on the same boat.
Yes, it is possible. That is how it is. That's how the game goes. Now, this one says this has to do with the economy. Naira's free fall threatens 2025 fiscal plan. Our central bank forex policy flops. Budget rose 74% nominally, but shrunk 23% in real value. I don't really want to, all these nominally, physically, financially. I don't really want to, not that I don't understand, but I don't want to understand. I don't even want to always hear it. Physically, nominally, financially.
Paperwork.
I know it is paperwork, but don't let them say what is happening to Nigerians. How many Nigerians will understand meaning of nominally, physically? The market woman will know the meaning of nominally or physically or real value.
Well, the market woman would not be confused. They would know the meaning if things get better for them and for the rest of the ordinary masses. But when nothing gets better and things getting better nominally, financially, blah 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 on paper, and the authorities continue to score themselves a pass mark on that same piece of paper, then that's where there's a problem. It also says that Nigeria's economy too fragile for fully deregulated electricity market. CPPE warns. And if I'm to interpret this from the layman's language, it means Nigeria's economy is too fragile for improved power supply and cheaper tariffs. So that will ruin the economy. Anything that would grant a better deal to the masses will ruin the economy, like they always say. And just like I never get tired of giving this example. The military head of state at a point in time, the one who was gruesomely murdered after 6 months in office, and we are still talking about those 6 months still today. Those 6 months that were simply paradise for Nigeria.
Yes,
and
late Murtala Muhammad.
Ramat Murtala Muhammad. But today, some economists will tell you that what he did would have, if it had continued, would have completely hurt the economy, bring down the Nigerian economy. And I still don't get it. Excuse my ignorance of economics and terms and conditions for building a better Nigeria, a better economy. I still don't get it. How food on my table, being able to pay my rent, being able to pay my children's school fees, quality healthcare services, and enough money in my pocket translates to ruining the economy, translates to a battered economy. I still don't get it. I'm asked to keep making those same sacrifices. I've been hearing them tell us sacrifices to make since I was a toddler, and even their own parents before them.
Now, this one says, this is still talking about, the people and the economy too. Now, they're now, focusing on vegetable oil. They say, the report says Nigerians go for air fryers as cost of vegetable oil soars. That means
Air fryers.
Yes, air fryers. They said it has come into existence, in the past, but people, just ignored it. Air fryers, an electric air fryer, came in as a disruptor to, vegetable oil. Vegetable oil used to fry, fry all those things that we eat. Now, they say people are now going for those air fryers now, and I know it will be, operated with electricity. Then, and I know it will be expensive. So where is the electricity? How will people afford it?
Well, if you can afford them, the air fryers, I don't know, the microwave ovens, do they fall into that category? So, like you said, if you can afford to buy one, then, of course, availability of power, again, and those things are actually consume a lot of power, if you ask me.
Now, they now delved into the prices of, vegetable oil now, which, like I'm saying, very alarming. Now, the price of the 25-liter keg, which was 9,500 and now sells for between 95,000 naira to 105,000 naira. That is a 25-liter keg, which sold for 9,500. Imagine.
Foreign domestic transactions surged by 3.23 trillion naira in 1 year. And Nigeria's AFCFTA participation threatened by $2 billion Chinese currency deal. That's according to a report. So, we and the Chinese. And okay, I'm talking about updates on the new Owabokun of Ijesha land. Yeah. Well, he has been confirmed.
Yes, he has confirmed. I think he has been presented staff of office.
Formally ascended the throne. Adeleke, as Governor Ademola Adeleke of Osun State, presents staff of office to new Owabokun Adimula of Ijesha land. That's talking about Oba Clement Adeshui Astrop.
Yes, he was former deputy governor of Osun State.
Osun State,
yes. Yeah. Now, this one says, Army destroys 20 illegal refining sites, arrests 8, recovers 90,000 liters of stolen product. Okay, after the recovery of those 90,000 liters of stolen products, so what happens to them at the end of the day?
Oh, well, sometimes they destroy the stolen products sometimes, and they've been criticized severally that this is evidence that you are destroying. But then, or maybe they will channel it to be useful to Nigerians who are the major losers when it comes to matters of oil theft. And okay, Aiyedatiwa, Governor Loki Aiyedatiwa of Ondo State distributes 6,000 life jackets, clears waterways to prevent road mishaps. A good one, I would say.
Yes.
And we're talking about disasters now, Bimbo, away from the shores of Nigeria. 179 people lost their lives in South Korea.
Yes,
airplane crashes while landing. While landing in South Korea, killing 179. You know, people dying will be the last thing on the minds of those passengers. They had arrived their destination. The plane was about to land.
To land, yes. I think there was 181 on board that plane, and about to land, and it crash landed.
It skidded and crashed while trying to land.
And 179 just went like that.
And I can imagine the everlasting and perpetual trauma for their relatives who must have been waiting. Some of them would have maybe from the airport lounge, they'll be watching, and they will see that accident happen.
Yes, and you remember just I think just during the week or last week, another plane, earlier, that Azerbaijan flight, yes, also, crashed. Although that incident, I think politics is being, introduced into it.
You said it was shot down by the Russians?
Yes, and the Russian President Vladimir Putin, actually apologized, but it did not really, say that it was
accept responsibility.
Yes, for the crash.
So why the apology? Well, for the Russian president, that kind of attitude, to me, it looks like he is thinking that those souls were expendable, and which is why it was just a mere apology, and it wasn't anything more than that.
Actually, he said he thought it was some terrorist that was going over the no-fly, zone of the Russian region.
Was he the one that thought that, or the people in charge of the office, air defense systems?
No, air defense systems.
So
it must have been the people, those officials, and he would be informed.
As commander in chief.
Yes.
So if that was if that's the situation, and it was he was misled, the Russian air defense system, then it should roll. Even the Russian chief of air chief now, he should have done away with that particular person, and they should be facing prosecution. But we don't know if any of this has happened. The affair of the Russians always shrouded in deep mystery. But then maybe the apology is also enough for the Azerbaijan government.
Government, yes.
And maybe for them too, those people were expendable. Okay, Oyo speaker asks for unity among PDP members. And no aspect of our national life is doing well, says Sonny ACF Chieftain. That's the former General Secretary of the Arewa Consultative Forum, ACF, Mr. Anthony Sonny. He's right, Bimbo. Nothing is working.
Yes. Now, Tola, coming back to your state now, most times I always say things about issues about driving against traffic. Yes, driving against traffic. Accidents have been occurring. I don't know what our own EITH is doing. Most times, our EITH, your state road management and traffic maintenance,
traffic management
authority. Yes, the officials will see them fine, they're on the roads, but most times they're always controlling traffic. They are not placed at strategic points where people will just drive through one opening, cross to the other side because they want to enter their own junction and face traffic, and accidents occur. It happens, especially along this gate, Idiakbe, Akubo, Ujuni, along their roads. Yes, it occurs. It happens to one of our own here in BCS. He's in hospital right now. The traffic control, I believe, is for the traffic police, what we call a yellow fever. Let them leave. Their own is for support, I believe. Support the traffic police, but let them go to some. There was a time they stationed some people at some point along Bashon Rakubo. At the end of the day, about 1 week or 2 weeks, we did not see them again. They apprehended, some people driving against traffic. Some in exotic cars, some Okada, some Marwa, and they will be, claiming. All those people you see, they will say they have traveled to United States of America, traveled to Canada, traveled to anywhere, and now can you do that in those countries? You cannot. And they were perpetrating these, traffic crimes here in Nigeria, their own country, and accidents will be happening. I don't know what the EITH will do. And they said they recently recruited 3,000 personnel.
Well, actually, Bimbo, EITH, they're actually doing a very good job.
They are doing a good job.
But then the problem, and then they actually have personnel in those places you mentioned. But the major challenge, you would have noticed, Bimbo, that they have a timeline for their operations, daily operations. By 4 p.m., 5 p.m. at most, they are off the roads. They work just like the typical civil servants, resuming, like one that is resuming work in the office, and as a closing time by 4 p.m. In places where this kind of agencies have really worked, let me use Lagos as an example.
Yes.
Even in the midnight, they will be there.
Yes.
So there are arrangements to pay special allowances for those who have to work up to that time. There are special arrangements to make them at least as an allowance to make them comfortable while they are working. And again, you mentioned the powerful people, privileged Nigerians, and I agree with you that they are most guilty of these offenses. But in a place like Lagos, again, the people in charge of the traffic management, they are last man. From the reports we get from that place, they are no respecter of anybody. And that's because the government backs them, no matter who you are.
Yes.
Once you trample on the law. There was that former governor, Basunde Fashola, who apprehended the Army Colonel himself.
Yes, Army Colonel.
Personally.
Yes.
So that it is the way it should be. EITH doing a very good job, but they need to go a little further. They need to step up their game to prevent the kind of unfortunate incident. For instance, that put our colleague, our dear colleague, in hospital. Right, time to open the phone lines, and we have our first caller. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Ojo Michael, calling from Oluyole Kingdom.
Good morning, Mr. Ojo Michael.
God bless you.
Amen.
Yes, I want to comment on the reduction in the pump price of petroleum. As we are rightly said, Mr. Tola Teriba, I wouldn't even 2 weeks ago, or I think a week ago, that the transporter did not reduce the price. If we instead of reducing even they increase it, because I don't know the reason why, but I'm appealing to them, the transporter. They should please bring the price of their transport down. Yes, because I said it on this platform that the price of petroleum will crash. Thank God it is coming down now. Yes, secondly and finally, I want to congratulate once again His Imperial Majesty Oba Clement Adesuyi Aso Owa Obukwa Adimola Owa Ajimoko III. May he reign long. May all the people and also state and Nigeria in general enjoy Israel. God bless you.
Amen.
Have a nice week ahead.
Thank you
very
Mr.
much.
I believe Mr. Ojumakel is from Ijesha land, from his donation.
Yes, sir.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Bimbo.
Good morning.
I'm calling from Colorado.
Good to have you.
On the traffic light that you just mentioned now, Mr. Bimbo, you read my mind. I was about saying this this morning. There has been lawlessness in Ibadan, your state, in the last few months on the issue of traffic. People don't respect the traffic light again, especially commercial marijuana and Okada. And I think what Otman has been feeling, let us call the state by its name. Look, Otman has been feeling. I'm not saying they are not doing their job, but they are not doing it very well. So if they are listening to this program now, they are feeling. Now, these people are easy to catch. Catch one or two of them. Let them pay the fine of 15 or 20,000. Nobody will break traffic lights again. And let it be consistent. No big private commercial vehicle. Catch one. Let them pay 15,000 naira before they can collect their vehicle. Nobody will break traffic lights again. I know the mentality of our people in Nigeria. Once you enforce the law and make them pay, nobody wants to lose any money that is not there. So that's just that. So on the issue of Russian and Azerbaijan, Mr. Bimbo, one thing is, one thing is, these people don't really make mistakes like that, but they make a situation look like a mistake. There might be some people on that board that they are trying to, they have been hunting, but they could not find. So they use that thing to, like the way they behave, the way they think. They have achieved their aim. So that's why they are using for one cover up. But there was a time in Iran, there was when one Iranian, the Iranian authorities bombed the American base in the Asian region. And it was strong time then, the first time of them. And the chief of staff of the army chief in the United States asked the president to retaliate immediately. As they were about retaliating, he said, how many will be the casualties if retaliate on the civilians there? They said 40. He said they should drop it, they should not retaliate again. Reason is that he knew there will be an outcry in US, but in Russia there won't be an outcry. But he later got the general. Later, a few months after, the general was executed the plan, and the general died. But in Russia, they don't think like that. The way they reason is, if the enemy in the plane, gun them down. So I don't believe in the mistake. So thank you. Good morning.
Well,
Thank you very much.
Well, Mr. Gidi, another reason Oitman might not be living up to your expectations is the fact that, well, maybe they need more technology-driven means of operations, and also I'm sure they also need more personnel. Your state is big, Ibadan is massive. So they might be working on them. They might not actually be living up to expectations.
Yes, I want to thank you. You mentioned the issue of traffic lights too. I was talking about driving against traffic. Yes, the traffic lights too. They beat traffic lights too, and accidents do occur there too.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Tola, Mr. Bimbo.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. John.
John calling from Ilorin.
Good to have you, sir.
Well, I don't want ASU as a body to take this present administration for granted. In the past, we have seen a government who never knew ASU was existing for 2 years. I stand to be corrected. I don't know if it was up to 2 years then. This government has been listening to ASU. Yes, they might not have done what exactly is needed. ASU should not take them for granted. And the president himself should not forget his promise. Like you people rightly said, he said it clearly that there will be no more strikes. So the government should also think of the way forward so that our children will not be spending 7 years for a 4-year courses. I will still plead with you that you should exercise patience. Some of you also have children in this university. Not all of you have the capacity to send your children to private universities. So please, let our children enjoy their season as at when due. Don't scuttle their timetable. We are pleading. Lastly.
You. Okay. Go ahead.
We love that. Do want to call us back, Mr. John. I'd like to hear your remainder of your submissions on the program this morning.
Thank you. I thought he thought I was going to say thank you.
Oh,
that was why he caught.
Okay, no, I think the line tripped off.
Okay. Right. 08055009850 and 07055551985 are the numbers to call. Hello, good morning.
It's once again, sir.
Okay, Mr. Joe Michael.
Yes, give it to Ashwaju, Mr. President. ASU will not go on strike. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Well, I want to share your optimism.
Yes,
Mr. Joe Michael.
It's quite optimistic. Yes. Yes, still expecting calls. The program is still Conversation on Oluyole 5.5 right in the city of Ibadan. Yes, you can also listen to us Okeogun FM 96.3 FM and Agility FM 92.1. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Hi, guys.
Fine, thank you.
Sir. Thanks. Fine, thank you, sir.
We should sing.
CJ calling from Malaysia.
Good to have you, sir.
Definitely, for sure. ASU will go on strike.
Oh.
This government, they are not ready to do anything for people. ASU will go on strike. And the other three, they will follow suit.
Wow.
Even later sooner, the public will follow it. Thank you. Have a nice day.
All right,
thank you, sir.
Oh, like I would say, let's be optimistic. Let's hope that, like Mr. President said, never again. I mean, let's share Mr. Joe Michael's optimism.
Yes,
550985007055551985. That's the number to call.
Yes, just call us. About 2 or 3 more calls before we leave on the program.
222 people died and 779 were injured in 304 road crashes in 12 months in Oyo State alone. And that's coming from the Federal Road Safety Commission. And also UNICEF restates commitment to family health, safeguard lives of women and children. And while Kaduna is cleanest in the northwest, says Commissioner, well, I hope they are not blowing their own trumpets.
Yes. And this one says a joint operation by police operatives and hunters in Idofi, Igbano area of Okeero local government area of Kwara State has rescued some 13 wedding guests kidnapped on their way to Kogi State, venue of the program, 6 days after.
Right, to have a commercial break, we'll be right back.
Good morning, my people. Now your pilot stay Luna. Today we get special passengers from inside plane. With Betano members, they go England to go watch Aston Villa match live. Big congratulations to Emeka, Yemi, and Ibrahim. Play with Betano and you will get a chance to enter UK for free to go watch the match between Aston Villa and Tottenham. Betano, the brand partner of Aston Villa. Play responsibly. Now only for people who don't pass 18 years. This promo will be run from November 1st, 2024 to February 28th, 2025.
All right, we're back. The program is still conversation, but it looks like our time is fast spent.
Yes.
The phone line is still buzzing, but we cannot take any more calls. We have to see our BYEs on the program this morning. It's an interesting time, and we'll be back same time tomorrow morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
And my name is Bimbo Akambi. Thank you very much for listening and enjoy your day.
Beautiful Monday morning to you, and thanks for joining us on today's edition of Spotted Beat, coming to you live from the studios of Oluyole 90.5 FM, the Trailblazer, the pride of the nation, and of course, the best in the West. Of course, we're also live on Oluyole FM 96.3, and of course, Agility FM 92.1. Polo Ajiokumala is my name. All set to bring you news that you can use in the beautiful and ever exciting water sport. All the latest, all the hottest news. Trust me on the show this morning for all of the juicy details on the show this morning. We'll take a look at MPFL matches, of course, played across the federation yesterday and on Saturday. Shooting Stars made it a perfect December for their fans as they secured their 5th win of December alone. Yes, Shooting Stars ending the month in a very beautiful fashion. Of course, winning their very last game in December, having won the 4 games yesterday. One it ended yesterday at the Lekon Salami Stadium against neighbors against Kwara United. Good one for the Oluyole Warriors. Yes, looking pretty good for the lads. All right, let's kickstart this morning from the MPFL, Nigeria Premier Football League. Take a look at how your favorite Nigerian clubs performed